All right, all right. Gonna let a couple more people get in here. Gonna wait for all green. I think we're good. Streams up. You have 10 seconds. We're all good. We'll let a couple more people get in here. We got Randall. Start tagging some people from the phone. All right. Let me get some people in here. Let's see. Who do we not have? Um, Jess. Yeah, Jordan's too. Get a couple people in here. All right. All right. We're gonna give them like a minute. We'll give them one more minute. All right, Air Jordan's there. All right, Air Jordan's there. You just gotta let Jess know, and then we'll be good to go. Opus should be there. All right, let's go. All right, just waiting on green from that, and then just 30 seconds. We'll do. Second, let's go. All right. Almost there, almost there. All right. Starting. Oh. All right, we're good to go. We're gonna start it up. Starting draft. All right, Mr. Big Chest on the clock. This is a $21 best ball redraft. TreVeyon Henderson jersey, fast draft, super flex. Yep, just pretty much the same settings that we've been running. We got one QB with the super flex, two running back, three wide receiver, tight end, two regular flex, PPR, zero point 0.5 tight end premium. Um, we're going to be doing an Omari in Hampton right after this. That was $24 to get him, $2 cheaper than the one that I ran Omari in Hampton probably about a month ago when I first got the Hampton jersey. So that price went down a little bit. I still can't believe this is $21 price. I feel like his next year, if he plays the way that he's looking, this jersey next year is going to be a lot more. I just seen green. I just seen green on. Come on. Hate the auto picks, but whatever. Sucks for the stream though. All right, Jess is on the clock. What do we got? Let me see what we got tuning in here. All right, so Allen went first. Lamar, Chase, Daniels, Jefferson got auto picked. Probably would have went CD over Jefferson in that scenario, but it's not a bad pick. Obviously, Jefferson's a fucking stud. Burrow at the 1-6, Lamb at the 1-7, Hurts at the 1-8, Gibbs at the 1-9. Matt Cooper 96 on the next pick at the 110. Goes Bijan. Great value there for Bijan. Great value for Bijan. Um, let's see what we got here. Barkley still out there, obviously. Bowers, Genty. I'd probably go Barkley, but let's see what happens. QBs are obviously still available, like still a decent amount. Bowers at the 111. Air Jordan on the clock at the 112. Let me just go over here. All right. Got to get Allen here. All right, so Genty at the 1-2 for Air Jordans. Let's see what we go with the wraparound. Saquon, go Saquon, bro. Grab those two beast running backs. Ooh, that'd be nice. It's a nice little combo. Saquon and Genty. You gotta go Saquon because you just went Genty. If you're taking running back, I'm taking Saquon all day. So taking Genty makes me feel like you're definitely gonna take Saquon. Oh no, neighbors. Oh, that's Bowers Saquon now probably. Can't go wrong with neighbors. He's gonna be a target monster. Target monster. I still can't. I'm taking Saquon over Genty for sure. For sure. But either way, it is what it is. And there's Saquon. Saquon Bowers, nice little 1-2 there. Fresh off that Bijan pick. What do we got there, Matt? Probably maybe Amon Ra, a little Puka action, maybe Trey McBride if you want to go tight end. Wouldn't be a bad getting Bijan at the 110 is solid. And McBride off the board, perfect. You got your RB1 and your tight end one. I got McBride over Bowers this year. I switched it up about maybe like 3 weeks ago. I finally put McBride over Bowers, but I just feel and now with Amari Cooper there, I don't think Bowers is going to do what he does. I think McBride's going to find the end zone this year. So we'll see what happens. All right. After that McBride pick, Achian to go with Gibbs, good little 1-2 there, followed by CMC to go with Hertz. They're all going to be good 1-2s here, pretty much. But Jess on the clock. Fresh off that CD pick. Brian Thomas, nice. You got your 1-2 at the wide receiver. All right. Fresh off that Burrow pick, you got Amon Ra, and then Jefferson gets auto picked. Fresh off that Daniels pick for Randall. What do we got at the 2-9? If anybody's tuning in on YouTube that's in this draft, let me know. Put it in the comments. Well, you better like and subscribe and follow all that stuff. But let me know in the comments what team you are. That way I know when you're picking or whatever, and we'll make it work from there. All right, so Drake London at the 2-9. We just did a London jersey. It was either last night or 2 nights ago. We did the London jersey. I love the value on his jersey too. I feel like Henderson's good value. London's good value. I think his jersey was 18, which is great compared to another $10 was Jamar Chase. If London has a top 5 wide receiver finish this year, his value is going to go up for sure. Um, and H-Sheen's value at his jersey, I love his value too. But all right, so after that London was Nico to go with Chase. Great 1-2 target monsters there. Um, and then Soap goes Mahomes after that Jackson. So you got a solid 1-2 a QB. Taylor as your RB1. Can't go wrong with that. The 2-12 Puka went, and then Josh Jacobs to the 3-1. I love Josh Jacobs. He definitely moved up the draft board more. I was getting him the beginning of the 4th round, maybe the end of the 3rd round a couple months ago. Even I got him in the 5th round a couple months ago, but he's definitely moved up the board. Still good value. Um, After that was Jonathan Taylor. Then Bucky went at the 3-3. Chase Brown at the 3-4, followed by AJ Brown with the auto pick. Auto pick's looking good so far. Hopefully they get here before they start getting into the territory again, mixing and stuff. But not a bad option. Carryon Williams went at the 3-6. Bo Nix to Jess, first QB for her to go with Lamb and Brian Thomas. So that's pretty solid. Um, Kittle off the board. That's CMC. That's a nice little stack there, a little correlation stack with CMC and Kittle. I don't see that often in these drafts, but that's a good. I like both of them. CMC, I definitely came around on. Hopefully, it doesn't rip my heart out. I picked him like my first like real big money draft where I got CMC. It was the other night. I landed in the airport. It was last Friday. I landed in the airport. I was waiting at baggage claim, and I'm like rattling my head, like, oh, do I go CMC here? Do I go CMC? And I took them, and I was like, oh fuck, instant regret. But the way I built my team, I liked it, so it is what it is. And I got RB depth in that league. But it is very when you have to click that draft now for CMC, I definitely questioned myself, but we'll see what happens with that. So after Kittle was Lad, Baker at the 310, followed by Purdy at the 311. Zeb Pool. Yeah, you got. I like what you got there with Chase and Nico. I'm not too high on Bucky, but I have him because I have him in a dynasty league that one of my big silent auction dynasty leagues that I'm in, and I just feel like I faded him because I have him in that league, and I didn't want it to be like, oh, I need to draft more Bucky because I have him in this big league, and I want to like reassure that I'm good. So he'll have a good season. He'll get his, obviously. I just think White's nothing to laugh at. I love the value on White, so even grabbing him is more than just a handcuff. He'll have his standalone value weeks on best ball. So there goes Hampton right there. Like I said before, Hampton's jersey is up next, hopefully. Um, that's posted on the page, so we'll see who gets who's in there. If that fills up, we'll be doing that at 10 o'clock. So we'll see. Um, so followed up that Omarion with the Higgins, JSN after that, and that all these leagues, every league that we're drafting in August until the start of the season, September 4th, every season long draft is included in a JSN autograph jersey giveaway. So if you join one of these leagues, you automatically get an entry into the giveaway. The giveaway will be streamed live on YouTube just like this during one of my weekly leagues. The weekly leagues will be popping up soon. It'll just be a simple format. 1 week, most points overall wins that week, and they win a jersey. It's just like daily, but a little different. But yeah, so all these this is a JSN auto jersey giveaway. So any buy-in into a league, you automatically get a JSN entry. If you recommend somebody to join the league and they join the league and was like, hey, so and so recommended me to join this league, I tag it. I pin it so I know it's there. When I do the drawing, you get an extra two giveaway slots for recommending that person. So pretty much, if you recommended one person to this league and join this league, you got three right away. So, but yeah, no, just a little something extra to do. I got a deal on a JSN jersey, so why not just move it forward, try to build a little bit. Yeah, I see. I'm reading a comment now. The three wide receivers. Yeah, that would have been good, but it's solid. I kind of like Williams a little more than Bucky. I got them pretty much the same. So you could have went Williams if you wanted RB. If like Jacobs fell, that would have been great because Jacobs is one of my big guys around there. But it's a good build there. Plus you got now you got Goff. Goff is a good QB to have. But all right, so after that JSN was Cook. I'm very high on Cook. Herbert moved up a lot. Usually you don't see him getting there, but that's you got a good little stack there with Ladd, Kyler at the 4-5, followed by Chuba, Garrett Wilson, Marv. Nice little three for the auto pick. You got pretty good wide receivers there. McLaurin, you're seeing him move up the rankings now that he signed at the 4-9. He was going mid fifth. I was eating McLaurin up the whole time, letting him fall and then drafting him. I knew he was going to sign there eventually, and if not, even if they traded him to a bad team, he's produced with bad quarterbacks his whole career. So, he was always a good value. So after the McLaurin was Goff, who I just seen he paired up with Dak. Those are two of my top later QBs that I feel like could definitely be top 10, maybe top 5 thing. Wide receivers. Said wide receivers. What are those? uh, yeah, right. Neighbors and Higgins. I'm not too high on Higgins. Plenty to go around. There's always the running backs. I feel like it's essential to get like. I try to get 2 stud running backs because later on, like I like Warren, I like Swift, but they're starting to get overdrafted. But the wide receivers are just there. So wide receiver and tight ends are there. All right, so but yeah, Goff and Dak, I like that combo a lot. Henderson for the Henderson jersey to pair with Taylor. 3 QBs early for so early plenty to go around. Fuck a wide receiver. All right, so Walker. After that, followed up by Evans at the 5-1. I like to start to that build, Mister Big Chest, with Walker and Jacobs. Um, Walker's another one of those players that scares the hell out of me when I draft him because I'm like, oh, do I do this? Am I making the wrong choice? And then I'm like, nah, he's in a contract year, and meanwhile he's always injured. And then I make the pick, and I'm like, fuck, why did I do that? But got to stay hopeful, got to spread it around. So it should be a good pick, hopefully. After Evans was Drake May, then Dak, like we talked about, Metcalf in at the 5-4. Love that pick there. Hill, Williams after that, and you got that Williams and Burrow 1-2 at the QB. Head at the 5-7, Worthy at the 5-8, followed by Adams, Stroud, and Brees at the 5-11. We got Air Jordan on the wraparound, 5-12 to the 6-1. What do we got? About to go over to that other league and just see if anybody else paid for it yet. All right, so Love off the board, first QB for Air Jordans. Jordan Love, that's his guy. All right. Yeah, I wasn't even planning on streaming. I was just like, oh yeah, I'll do a couple leagues myself. This is one of the only nights between now and the start of the season that I really don't have a draft. But all right, so Rice went off the board after that Love pick. All right. I like the auto. I'm not too bad on it. You know, you got four pretty good wide receivers. You got Henry's a stud, but we'll see. I'm gonna try to tag again. All right. So after that Rice pick was Sutton and DJ Moore. After that DJ Moore pick, what do we got? Little Williams action. At the 6-5, Smart and Son with the Smith. I'm always high on Smith, but I don't know. After that whole offense was weird with passing last year, I think it's going to balance out. I think AJ Brown will be more involved. I think Smith will be more involved. But at the 6-6, what are we going with? Jess, fresh off the Tet pick. That's three solid wide receivers you got there. ADP wise, we got Sam Laporta, Alvin Mixon, Travis, Judkins, James Conner, Fields, Hawkinson, McCarthy's still out there. Lawrence, I like. Pickens is still out there. Rome's still out there if you want to roll the dice on him. Harvey just got taken with the 6-6. I should do a Harvey league. That wouldn't be bad. Alvin, I just did an Alvin league. Alvin has one of my favorite autographs. He makes his A like a star. Looks so cool. Definitely one of the better autographs I've seen. Justin Fields with the auto pick after that. The team's building. The auto draft isn't the worst, you know. The ceiling for Fields is top 5 QB. You know, he could be running like crazy. I know he's not going to be throwing like crazy, and that's coming from a miserable Jets fan. I'm like hot and cold on the Fields option, but I don't mind it. It is what it is. Randall with the fourth wide receiver for him with the Pickens pick. Probably going to have to go QB on the wraparound for him, but he's definitely building something good. I like to start to that team for sure. After that, Sam went with the 6-10, get a little stack with Goff, which is solid. Can't complain about that. I think Laporte is going to have a bounce back year. Wasn't like he had a horrible year last year, but it just obviously wasn't his rookie season. I think he's somewhere in between where he'll land this year. But if not in between, I think it's closer to his rookie season, the points that he gets. But I'm definitely high on Sam this year. Same thing with Golden. 6-11. Golden's a great pick. Trevor Lawrence at the 6-12, followed by Rome, followed by Abuka. Pollard and Connor off the board. Perfect. That's the pick to make right there, Randall. I was gonna say when I was saying, oh, you should go running back. Connor was definitely the guy to do it. So that's a solid start. Oh yeah, and you got that stack with the Daniels McLaurin. I didn't even notice that before, but yeah, that's a solid stack there. Allen with the Travis Hunter auto pick. That's where the auto pick is gonna hurt. I'm not feeling Travis Hunter this year. I feel like there's no way he's gonna be able to play defense and a lot of snaps on offense to be a fantasy contributor. Um, but we'll see what happens. Hopefully, he can. I'm a fan of Travis Hunter. I like him. He's the Shohei of the NFL. If he can if he can compete and do this at a high level, then good for him because I would love to watch it. But let's see. After that Hunter pick, Hawkinson, Warren. After that, Zay Flowers, followed by JJ Waddle. After that, fresh off that Sutton pick, what do we got here? We got Sutton, JSN. You gonna go another wide receiver probably. Another wide receiver probably. What do we got wide receiver wise? That's still out there. Olave, Addison, Judy, Calvin Ridley. I love Calvin Ridley. Uh, Godwin, Ricky, Myers, Debo, Ayuk. Let's see what we did. Oh, and Penix off the board. Air Jordan on the clock with the wraparound, 7-12 to the 8-1. What do we got? 7-12 to the 8-1. Cam Ward off the board, followed by Ricky. All right. Come on, open. Grab a good wide receiver here, bro. If you grab Ridley, your team's completed with your starting lineup there. See, I'm very curious to see what they take. Let's see. Kelsey, okay. Not a horrible pick. At the 8-3. Fresh off that Waddle pick for Matt Cooper. What do we got? There he is, Ridley, my guy. Ridley is my guy. All right. Little Burton action. What do we got here? All right, little Young. There we go. Followed by Pacheco at the 8-5. He's moved up the rankings too. Well, they're just the board, He was definitely going in the 10th about a month and a half ago. Little Tucker action. For Jess, got your two tight ends there, Tucker and Warren. Monty Judkins with the auto pick, followed by Johnson. Chris Olave at the 8-11. Nice flow, everybody. That was a nice little wrap around there. Evan Ingram at the 8-12. Yeah, let's get this draft done so I can start promoting the Omari on Hampton. Hopefully that fills tonight. We'll see what happens with that, but we'll see what happens. Judy Addison. Fresh off that Tua pick. What do we got? I'm already itching to draft right now. I'm ready for a best ball league. Njoku off the board, followed by Stafford. What other QBs does Randall have? Daniel Stafford connection. Okay. What other QBs are available? Geno's out there, Darnold, Rogers, and then you got combo guys. Pretty much that's about it. So those QBs are getting thin. Swift off the board. Oh, Ellen is here. Yeah, the auto picks weren't that bad. Once it got to like Hunter and Judkins, obviously that's where it gets rough. But Swift is a great pick. Hopefully she was there for that. And you could definitely turn this team around. I would try be shooting for like Darnold or Rogers after that, but see what happens. Diggs at the 9-6, Gino at the 9-7, followed by Debo, Andrews, Aaron Jones. Oh, excuse me. Myers after that. All right, fresh off that Ricky pick, a little Dalton Kincaid action at the 9-12. Now we're doing the 10-1. Well, hopefully, she said, been at dinner. Hopefully, you had a good dinner. Now you could have your dessert and kill the draft. Just answer in the back, and we'll be good. All right. So after that, Myers the Kincaid to the Sam, Godwin, Rogers off the board. Fresh off that Andrews pick. Colston Loveland at the 10-5. Cooper Cup at the 10-6. All right, what do we got here? Fresh off that Diggs pick. There's no QBs left in the 10th round. That's crazy. Last year, this time, there was still QBs. Everybody's just in a rush to get QBs this year. Shakir off the board, followed by Richardson. See, Allen's making it work. Making it work. Randall on the clock, fresh off that Stafford pick. So many teams went 3 QBs so early. Passed up on a lot of value. But you gotta do what you gotta do. When there's a run, there's a run, you know? Charbonnet, followed by Cam and Jackson Dart to Mr. Big Chest. Dart's gonna be the QB for the playoffs. JCM, Kyle Pitts, Coleman, Warren. Jawan Jennings at the 11-5, followed by Daniel Jones. Oh, that's a killer right there. That's a killer. I bet you wish you could have that back. Grab Jones over Jennings. Ooh. That is a rough one. Especially because you had all those wide receivers. You got 4 solid wide receivers. But it's whatever. You can still make it work. Rattlers out there, a little Flacco action. Let's take a look at Matt's team. Hey, I don't mind. Nah, I like your team. Robinson and Cook are my guys. Nah, your team's good. No, your team. Yeah, I don't mind that team at all. Why does he keep doing that? It's not even fucking in that. Yeah, no, I like your team for sure. Wide receivers are a little shaky, but wide receiver is shaky. All right. alerts left and right. Anybody else pay for that league yet? No. All right, wide receiver. All right, so after that, Warren pick, Jennings, Daniel Jones, Reed, Mason, Downs, Pittman, two Colts back to back. What is your analysis? Fucking sucks. No, I'm just joking. Uh, I'll do full team analysis in a little bit. Are you tuning in? I don't even know if you're tuning in on the stream or not. Usually around like the 17th round or something like that, I'll go over a full team analysis. Um, yeah, I'll go over the teams all together. Let's see. You got three stud quarterbacks. A little too early. Yeah, I'll do full. Do full team. Yeah, usually around the 17th, I'll start doing full team analysis. All right, so Mixon went after that, followed by Dobbins and Ferguson. I love Ferguson this year. Um, Williams after that, ETN after that, Benson after that. Dallas got it at the 12-5, followed up by Mooney. Fresh off that Daniel Jones pick at the 12-7. Downs at the 11-9. I love the value on Downs this year, especially with Daniel Jones. I feel like he's just going to pepper on the ball. Eckler, great value there, 12-7. I'm all over Eckler this year. I've been all over Eckler since the whole offseason. I started drafting right when regular NFL ended, but all right, so Ertz off the board at the 12-8. Flacco at the 12-9, followed by Allen. He's definitely moved up the boards. Bateman after that. Henry, Shaheed, little Nick Chubb action. What do we got here? George Springer home run. Got fantasy baseball playoffs going. Josh Palmer at the 13-3, followed by little B Rob at the 13-4. All right, fresh off that Ertz pick, what do we got? Little Rashad White. All right, let's go through quick ADP position by position. Anybody that thinks that start. Rattler's still out there. I feel like Rattler's gonna. Well, they announced Rattler as the week one starter, so that's not a bad option if you have later pick to just grab on the wrap around if you're QB desperate. Grab both of them. Running back wise, we got Najee who was activated today, or they said he's going to be activated. One of the two. Ramondre Spears, Blue, Tutton, Tootin, Garendo, Tank Bigsby. Really just handcuffs there, no standalone value. A couple guys hit and miss that aren't that bad for best ball. Wide receiver wise, Ayuk is there. I'm all over Ayuk in playoff leagues. I've never really liked Ayuk, but this year I feel like it's good value. Once he does hit the field, I think he'll be good value. Harris is there, Mims, Kyle Williams, Betch, Kirk, a couple guys there. Pat Bryant's still out there, obviously. Tight end wise, Strange I like, Otten I like, Konku I like. Still some good value there. Not bad, not too bad. All right, so back to this. You got the two Saints QBs went, then Higgins, Harris, Ayuk went off the board. Bigsby and Tootin. There you go. You got a little two running backs. You couldn't take both. And you need both. She's fucking punching the air right now. It's not a bad. I'm big on taking guys on the wraparounds. Likely after that. Kirk too. I'm all over Kirk in the beginning of the offseason and stuff like that when he first signed with Houston. I'm starting to come around to Higgins more and draft more Higgins, but I still feel like it's up in the air. Fresh off that Higgins pick, what do we got? Let's see. A little blue there. That's good value in 14th. Samson, Mason. What other? Yeah, Pacheco, CMC. You got some question marks at running back, but you can make it work. All right, Jess with the 14-6. All right. Time is up, and you're going to get Jerome Ford. There we go. All right. Jeez, Philly's got bases loaded. Bryce is up, 2 outs, 0-0 in the fifth inning. It's coming from a Mets fan that's worried about this right now. Let's see the pitch. Oh, he hits a little chopper that's going to just drop in front of the outfielder and score too. Wonderful. Fucking horrible. Fucking Bryce Harper. He's such a stud. All right, so back to that. Yeah, Jess had the Ford, then Strange went at the 14-7, followed by Ramondre, Mims, Keenan Allen, great value. Keenan Allen's my most owned player. I was getting him in like the last round, 20th round, 17th round. Smith off the board, followed by Ali Gordon, Harris, Pat Bryant. Let's see. Douglas at the 15-3. Tillman after that, followed by Davis. It's going to be interesting. I think Davis is going to have an uptick in touches this year for sure. Thornton after that. Oh, this is war. This is definitely war. That's Air Jordan's guy is Ferguson. Tyler Algier at 15-8. Yeah, that's definitely his guy. Fresh off that blue pick, what do we got here? We got Williams. Not bad. Diggs is that guy there, but who knows how long that's going to be. I don't know. Who knows how they're going to spread the ball around. All right. Fresh off that Kirk pick, Matt, what do we got? Three seconds is what you got. Little Taylor action, not bad. Fresh off that likely pick. Let's see who else we got out there. ADP wise for the flexes. Quick rundown, and then after the next round, I'll do team analysis. Spears is out there. I feel like he's good value because he's banged up. People are staying away from him, so he's not bad value. Barrymuth's there. Betch off the board. K. Otten's still out there. Gasecki's still out there. Hollywood Brown, I don't mind. Thielen, I don't mind. Rico Dowdle's an interesting pick. I feel like they brought him in, but not for the same like reason that like Mason was brought in. Like, but he'll get his touches. I think they'll. I don't think they're gonna just go with Chuba heavy, but we'll see what happens. Quentin Johnson's still out there. Jalen Wright, Noel's out there. Conquo, not bad values out there still. Kareem Hunt isn't bad in best ball late. All right, so Otten went after that, followed by Romeo Dobbs. All right, at the end of this round, I'll do some analysis, just talk about some teams, and then close it out and try to promote the next draft. Like I said, I got Omarion Hampton after this, $24 league, best ball, same format, same draft type, 30-second clock, QB with a super flex, two running backs, three wide receivers, one tight end, two flex, point 0.5 tight end premium. After that Dobbs pick, Wright went, Wandell Robinson, Chikakonkwo. After that, at the 16-5, fresh off that Algier pick, Horton off the board. He's definitely moved up the draft. There you go, Amari Cooper at the 16-6. It's going to be interesting to see how he plays. Gino might just find him, Gino don't have the rapport with anybody, really, so it's going to be interesting to see what happens. I like the value there, for sure. But I also like the value for him last year in all the drafts. But all right, Blake Corum, followed up by Gasecki. All right. All right. Get ready. I'll go through these teams after this. Yeah, I don't know what he said. I just played. I was like, whatever. I don't know what he said. Spears, good pick there with Spears. Waller's good pick. All right, let me just bounce over here. All right, so we'll go over a couple teams. See what we got. Mr. Big Chest. I know I liked his team as he was drafting. Started it with Josh Allen. Got Trevor as his second QB. Then Dart, who will be starting later on. I feel like definitely for sure. But that's solid 1-2 at QB, a dice roll at the third QB. Wide receiver wise, you got Puka Evans as studs. Rome is definitely undervalued, I feel like. Judy's good value. Shahid's a good best ball player. I wouldn't want to have him in regular season long. But then running back wise, you got Jacobs, Walker, Krosky, and Ollie Gordon down there. So not you definitely got a good 1-2, and the upside is there for the most hyped player right now in fantasy football. And then tight end wise, you got Ingram, who's a stud. Loving him in that system. Henry's gonna get his, so that's a good 1-2, good team to start it off drafting from the one spot. Let's move to the two spot. We got Allen, Mahomes, and Drake May, three stud quarterbacks. Definitely went three stud quarterbacks. You weakened yourself at tight end, but like if instead of like May, maybe if you would have went Sam Laporta, would have evened you out. But hey, it's your team. However you want to do it, you definitely got some upside tight ends for sure. So it's not horrible. All right, so you got the three good QBs, Taylor and Henderson studs at the QB, the RB, Cam and Chubb as your bench running backs. I'm stuttering like crazy right now. So you got Matthew Golden and Buka, Olave and Addison, and Bateman as your top wide receivers, Pitts and Smith as your tight ends. The teams, it's not the best, not the worst. I definitely think you went a little early for the third QB, but you grab your guy. You know, it is what it is. Because even wide receiver there, if you would have had Metcalf, that would have changed the whole the whole image of the team. But not a bad team. Then we're gonna go to the next one from the 1-3 spot. You grab Jason Collins. I said it from the beginning. That's great 1-2 at wide receiver. Then you waited and you went Coleman, Palmer, and Allen, which you grabbed two Buffalo guys, so that's not bad. You'll get the correlation there. Allen, I definitely like a lot this year. More of a flex play for me, like a last flex compared to a wide receiver 3, but he definitely has the potential. QB wise, you grabbed Goff, Dak, and Tua. Solid, solid, solid. Goff and Dak, I love their value in the fourth and the fifth. Bucky Irving, Pollard, Charbonnet, Allen. So you got two good running backs and then the upside later on. So that's pretty solid there. Let's see if anybody's typing real quick or just check on that. So yeah, not a bad team for sure. Yeah, that's snipe. All right, to Randall's team at the 1-5, he grabbed Daniels, then Stafford, Russ, and Flacco. So you got the starters to start the season for sure. We'll see how the season plays out. Definitely good though. Daniels and Stafford, your two main focal points at QB. You also got that stack to go with McLaurin. You got London, Metcalf, Pickens. That's four good, solid wide receivers. Also, Mims in the 14th is good value. Running back wise, you got Brown, Connor, Johnson, and Warren R. So you locked down Pittsburgh's RBs, which is solid. And Brown and Connor are great. Randall, I like this team, you know. A little shaky with QB. If everybody stays healthy, though, you got a solid team. That's probably the best team I've seen this draft so far. But I don't even see your tight ends. Hold on. Where's your fucking tight ends? All right, Schultz and Higby. Never mind. I take back what you said. You don't got no good tight ends. Now the team's not horrible, but yeah, tight end would have been different. You know, if you would have grabbed Henry instead of Flacco, maybe that's big difference there. But either way, not bad. All right, Ellen got auto picked, but the starter draft wasn't bad. Fields and Richardson as the two QBs is rough. Gabriel and Sanders down there. You're hoping for an injury at that point, you know, but the rest of the team's solid. Wide receivers, Jefferson, Brown, Marv, and Hill are fire. Hunter and Jennings, definitely high upside. Ertz as your tight end is solid. I like Ertz late. Gasecki and Sanders is there too. Running backs, you got Henry, which I like, and Swift I like. Judkins, we'll see what happens with him. And Rashad White, he'll have his weeks for sure. But for starting the draft with auto, it's not a bad team. Now we're going to go to the 1-6 spot. You went Burrow at the 1-6, followed by Caleb at the 5-6, and Daniel Jones at the 11-6. Wide receiver wise, you got Brown, stud. Garrett Wilson should be a stud. Hopefully he's a stud. Diggs, Shakir, Burden made it work with the wide receivers. Running back wise, you got Kerryon Williams, Alvin Kamara, Monty, and Eckler. Hawkinson as tight end, Strange also as your backup tight end. I like the build of this team for sure. Hawkinson and Strange should get a decent amount of targets, especially Hawkinson. They're going to be peppering him the ball. You got the high upside QBs, and the wide receivers are solid. You know, it's not that bad. I love the Eckler pick. Like I said, that's one of my most drafted guys. So good values there. Now we're going to go to Jess, who's got Bo Nix, Gino, and Rattler as her top three QBs. Followed with the wide receivers of CD and Thomas is great. Ted is great. So you three stud wide receivers there. Also, Cup, Reed, and Mooney. Not too high on Mooney. Reed will have his weeks. Reed and Mooney are good basketball wide receivers for sure. Jerome Ford down there is solid. Henry and Chuba, good running backs. It's a good build. Oh, excuse me. Yeah, no, that sucks. That's why I'm yawning. The team is boring me. No, I like that team a lot. You know, Kraft and Warren as the tight ends, definitely some potential. Maybe instead of Kraft, if you would have went Monty or Judy or something, maybe. But I understand it. You know, Kraft is solid. I'm not too high on Warren. That's where I'm not really high on. But it's not bad. If you would have went Ridley instead of Warren. But all right, so down to Smart and Son, you went Hertz at the 1-8, Tyler at the 4-5. Good little 1-2 at QB there. Running back wise, you got CMC, Pacheco, Mason, Sampson. All right, good start. Healthy, if they stay healthy, that should be pretty solid. Um, Healthy Pacheco is definitely outplaying that 8-5 spot for sure. Wide receiver wise, you got Worthy, Smith, Flowers, Debo. Um, Tight ends, you got Kittle, Loveland, and Goddard. Went a little tight end crazy, but not too crazy. Still high upside players. Team so, a little heavier on a wide receiver would have been nice probably, but no, that's pretty solid. I'm just not that high on Flowers. But all right, to Burton's team, we got Gibbs went at the 1-9, followed by Achian. Probably the best 1-2 at running back in the league. I don't mind that at all. You also got Tracy Benson and Blue. Wide receiver wise, you got Ladd, Adams, Williams, Downs, Higgins. I like that a lot actually. Like I said, I'm coming around to Higgins, and I've been around for Downs, and Downs is definitely shaping up to be a good PPR monster. I think Jones is going to pepper him with the ball. You also got Mark Andrews as your tight end. QB wise, you got Young, uh, JJ, and Herbert. Uh, Definitely good potential there. That's a pretty good team to draft from the 1-9. That's a solid team. It all hinges on Andrews, what he does. What other tight ends you got? Okonkwo, yeah, pretty good team. Not bad. I like that. Yeah, for sure. All right, let's see where we're at. Anybody saying anything? No, we're good. We'll keep it rolling. So we got Matt Cooper at the 110. He went Brian Robinson, Trey McBride. All right, so Brian Robinson, James Cook is your two main running backs. Aaron Jones, ETN, and Harris also RBs. Wide receiver wise, you went Moore, who I like, Waddle, big potential there, and Calvin Ridley. I love this year. I'm taking Ridley over Waddle. Um, and Pittman. Pittman could do something. Who knows? It's going to be interesting to see what happens with Colts wide receivers. Running back wise, I did the running backs, yeah. So that's a pretty good team. Baker and Stroud as the QBs and Rogers. You got three good. Definitely solid team. It's gonna be interesting to see how that plays out. But at the 111, Bowers was taken. Kelsey as a second tight end. QB wise, you got Purdy and Penix. Pretty interesting way to do that. It's not bad. I would have probably got another QB earlier, but either way, it's not bad. Barkley and Hall, Mixon and Williams at your running backs. JSN, Sutton, Myers, and Godwin at wide receiver. That's not bad. It's not a horrible. I would have the wide receivers are like at the end. It all depends on how Godwin heals. Same thing with Ayuk, but I'm very high on Ayuk this year. We'll see what happens when he comes back. You got enough to make it work till then for sure. Air Jordan at the 112 to close us out. Went Genty at the 112, and then 2 rounds later grabbed Hampton as the 1-2 at the RB. Also grabbed Dobbins and Tank Bigsby. Not a bad, not bad, not bad. Uh, then QB wise, you went Love, Ward, and Darnold. To wait on QBs and end up with those three is good. You waited till the 5th round and grabbed Love, which is great, and then you got Sam in the 10th round, the last of the starting quarterbacks. Like the legit starting quarterbacks. So that's solid, solid, solid. Wide receiver wise, you went Neighbors. I'm high on obviously Higgins. I'm a little low on, but he'll get his. Rice I like. Pearsall I don't really care for too much. But Air Jordan's made it work. I like the QBs. I like when you wait for QBs and you get something like that as a solid way to start because you were able to bang those 4 solid position players there. So definitely a good start. Um, At the end of this round, I'll just close the stream up. We only got 3 rounds left. I'm going to try to focus on getting that Omarion Hampton Jersey League filled. If not, I'm going to have to move it to tomorrow. But we'll see what happens with that either way. At least we got this one in today. We've been doing the past week, we've been doing a fast draft tonight. So not bad. Where we go, Ray at the 22-7. Johnson just got cut. I wonder what's gonna. He just gets bounced around. A little Milton action at the 22-9. But yeah, so yeah, I'm gonna close this stream up. I'm gonna focus on getting that Hampton jersey league filled and drafted. Hopefully within an hour, a little over an hour, that draft will start if it's filled. So thanks for tuning in. Thanks for everybody that joined. Good luck, and we'll do it again real soon, hopefully. All right.